The Indiana Fever are playing tonight's game. No Caitlin Clark. We have Stephanie White's lackluster offense. We have Stephanie White's lackluster defense. And fans just simply aren't excited for it. Especially after the runaround we went through last year, not watching Caitlin Clark for 75% of the season. Many fans don't want to go through the same song and dance again. We went through it last year. We don't want to go through it this year. Furthermore, with how this team, how this organization, how this coach doesn't protect their star player, it ain't good. Stephanie White waits for Caitlin Clark to get injured to finally stick up to the refs, to finally call out the officiating. Too little, too late.
No-showed. They no-showed. Look at this. All these empty seats. Just seats everywhere. Seats everywhere. All these joints. I mean, come on, man. Hey, the fans have officially spoke. They're not going if CC ain't out there. Like, it is what it is. Y'all know, Caitlin Clark, Indiana Fever fans travel on the road. Now, it was still fans there that got some autographs from Caitlin and all of that. She's always going to have some fans show up. Sophie and them, Raven, they always sign autographs and stuff. But for the most part, it was a no-show. It was a no-show, man. The fans spoke. They're not rocking with this. They're not rocking with what the Indiana Fever are doing. Now, we also had Chinny Agumake and Andrea Carter completely. It's almost like Caitlin don't exist on this team. You can bank it after this. This is going to be like the fans said, hell no, we won't go. Hell no, we won't go. Caitlin Clark fans clearly no showing the Indiana Fever versus the Las Vegas Aces. It was smack dab empty. It will cost you more to get a small fry with no burger and no drink than it would have cost to sit in the 100 section in the lower bowl. This
isn't a slow news week. This is a fan base sending a message the only way it knows how, with its wallet and its absence. Let's rewind. Over the past year, the Fever became the hottest ticket in the WNBA, largely because one rookie from Iowa turned a struggling franchise into appointment viewing. Sellouts, record merchandise numbers, road arenas packed with fans wearing Fever gear in cities that had never cared about this team before. It was a cultural phenomenon that most leagues spend decades chasing, and it landed in the WNBA's lap almost overnight. So when word got out that Clark was sidelined with a vague back issue and no real timeline, fans didn't sit quietly and hope for the best. They stayed home, deliberately, loudly. Social media lit up with the same sentiment on repeat. No Clark, no ticket, no viewership. Some fans admitted they even felt a strange relief in skipping out, frustrated by what they see as a pattern. Clark absorbing physical punishment on the court without the officiating or coaching pushing back hard enough, fast enough. And that's really the heart of this controversy. It's not just that Clark is out. It's how the organization has handled everything around her being out. Start with the communication, or lack of it. Back issues tells fans nothing. No imaging update, no severity level, no expected return window. For a fanbase that's been watching Clark take contact all season that other players simply wouldn't be allowed to absorb, vague statements don't read as caution. They read as an organization that isn't being straight with the people who built this moment. Then there's head coach Stephanie White, who's found herself under real scrutiny. Critics argue she was slow to publicly challenge the officiating on Clark's behalf. And when she finally did speak up, it landed after the damage was already done, reactive instead of protective. Add in a road trip promotional flyer that featured a different player standing in Clark's usual spot. And fans didn't need much convincing that something had shifted internally, whether that was intentional messaging or simply poor timing. Meanwhile, national broadcasts have leaned into promoting a nickname pairing for Kelsey Mitchell and Aaliyah Boston, both terrific players. No argument there, while Clark quietly puts up some of the most productive numbers of her young career. None of that is inherently damning on its own. But stacked together with the injury opacity and the coaching hesitance, it paints a picture fans are reading loud and clear. An organization that may be quietly building an identity that doesn't have Clark at the center of it. Before we keep going, if this kind of honest breakdown is what you come to this channel for, do me a favor and hit subscribe and tap that notification bell. We're covering every angle of this fever situation as it develops, and you don't want to miss what comes next. Now here's where it gets serious for the league office. The WNBA's entire recent financial surge, the TV deals, the sponsorship growth, the streaming boom wasn't spread evenly across 13 teams. It was concentrated overwhelmingly around one player's presence on the floor. When she's out, the numbers don't just dip, they crater. Streaming viewership reportedly drops hard on nights she doesn't play. Road ticket revenue, which the Fever have leaned on heavily thanks to traveling fans, disappears. That's real money vanishing in real time, and league executives know it better than anyone. The uncomfortable truth here is that you cannot manufacture a second Caitlin Clark. The league can't fast-track another player into that same cultural gravity. All it can do now is manage the fallout and hope the structural gaps get fixed before the next crisis hits. But here's the flip side worth sitting with. This boycott actually proves something powerful about this fan base. They're not passive. They're not going to show up no matter what the product looks like. They're invested enough to demand accountability, and they're willing to walk away, even temporarily, to get it. That's leverage. That's a fan base with real standards, and frankly, that should be seen as a sign of health for the sport long-term, even if it stings in the short term. So what actually needs to happen? Real transparency on Clark's health, not vague phrasing designed to avoid hard questions. Genuine, proactive advocacy from the coaching staff, not reactive statements after the internet already did the work. And organizational messaging that actually matches who this team is built around, instead of quietly drifting away from it. Caitlin Clark will be back on the floor eventually. The real question is what she's coming back to, a franchise that used her absence to protect and strengthen everything around her, or one that spent that time drifting somewhere else entirely. If you want the next update the moment this story breaks, make sure you're subscribed to WNBA updates and drop a comment letting me know. Do you think the Fever course correct here, or is the trust already too damaged? Either way, we'll be back with the next breakdown as soon as there's news.